what's up folks, it's 2bricks and I'm back in front of the minifigure wall for my kind of loose follow-up to my previous video, which was all about the designing of this shelf itself. So go and check that out if you haven't already, because that was a pretty cool video. I put a lot of effort into designing this thing and it was really fun to document that process along the way. But yes, the wall is now finished and it has minifigures populating it, and you can see here there are gaps that are filled in with red bricks, and those are to tell me which figures I still need to get. And unfortunately there's a lot more red in here than I thought I was going to have. Most of these sort of down here, once you get past 2015 or so, most of them are simply UCS set exclusive. So you can see that one there is the Death Star, or maybe that's Betrayal at Cloud City. And then yeah, so a lot of these are sort of the exclusive X-Wing pilot, TIE Fighter pilot, A-Wing pilot, what have you. But predominantly after 2015 I'm good, and then previous to that I'm in worse shape. So obviously you can kind of see here the dividing line of where I actually started collecting Lego Star Wars seriously. It was right around, well actually it was like 2011, 2012, but I just simply did not have money. But then I started to have both the desire and the funds to start collecting seriously after about 2015, but I still cannot bring myself to get every exclusive figure that comes in every UCS set, like the AT-AT, the $800 set. I was just never gonna spend that kind of money. Same goes for either one of the Millennium Falcons, but luckily Bricklink exists, and so we can source those figures that we need separately. So today's video is kind of just to go through, give you a brief overview of the whole wall and what I've done and kind of what I'm thinking going forward, show you some of the fun adaptations and modifications that I made along the way in order to house some of the wackier figures that don't really have a good way to fit. So I had to kind of come up with some interesting workarounds for those. This down here is my unsorted Lego that needs to be sorted, of which there is a lot, so don't pay attention to that. But yeah, so let's kind of just get in and look at some of the things up close. I actually don't have a single completed year yet, I don't believe. There are some where I have everything but like somebody's missing a pair of legs or hair or something that was unique. But yeah, almost all of the years are pretty close in one way or another. So yeah, I'm kind of excited to get in and show you guys all the different things that I've done here. So let's just do it. Let's get in and take a look. So starting up top here, you can kind of see I'm mixing in all of the characters that are brick-built droids and minifigures and R2 units and all of those things, pretty much exactly the way that brickset.com lists them. And the only exceptions to that are the things that don't fit, or the things that are not considered to be official minifigures. So up top here I have things like Omega in her little Christmas sled, and Grogu in his little carrier there. So those are not considered to be part of the minifigures. And then also I'm starting a collection up here for non-canonical things that are things at least that Brickset considers to be non-official, because they came in something like a book or a promotional set that was never available to the public in any way. So that's what I'm doing up there. And then you can see down here I'm simply going year by year, left to right, and just putting up all the figures that I have, leaving for the most part two brick wide gap in between each, so that I have room to be able to fit everybody in there with their accessories and things. And what I absolutely love is being able to go top to bottom, just seeing the evolution, seeing things like, going from the classic yellow face figs up here, and the old like molded single piece characters that we really don't get anymore, down to here where we're getting like stuff from the prequels or from the sequels and the animated shows, and all of the absolutely crazy details and things that they've put in, and all the different stuff that they've tried over the years. I just love to be able to look at the kind of history top to bottom like that. It's really fun. So I have actually placed Bricklink orders for $19.99 here to be able to complete $19.99. So I have everything I need except for the head of this Darth Vader, the legs of this Luke Skywalker, the hair of this Padme, this figure, which I forgot what it was, and then the other one of these pit droids. This guy's missing an arm, And then we have one more figure in here as well. But other than that, I have everybody for $19.99. So the plan is, once I get all of those in hand, I'm going to start doing a kind of year-by-year minifigs in review style of video periodically, to just kind of take all the figures off and give you guys a close-up look at them. And we'll just literally go year by year, so that we will have eventually a comprehensive list of every single Star Wars minifigure that has been looked at and analyzed, and I'll show you the differences in the printing style, the lightsaber types, the weird little quirks along the way, and that's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm definitely into the history of minifigs and stuff pertaining to Star Wars particularly, so I'm really excited to be able to talk to you guys about that. And then you can see up in here on the top, I have all of my large big figs, brick-built creatures, and again, things that Brickset does not consider to be minifigs, like the Sarlacc Pit, the Rathtars. I was surprised by a lot of the things that they omitted, actually. Even stuff like the Dianoga from the Falcon here, I would have considered to be definitely a character, but they do not. And then also stuff like the Blurg, and you know, this guy from The Force Awakens, I forgot what his name is. But yeah, even the big figs and stuff don't get consideration for that. So it's interesting where they draw the line, because to me, this guy right here, I mean, it's as much a minifigure as something like this is, right? Because it's built up, it's got a mixture of different big fig parts as well as traditional Lego system parts. And then this one is just fully built up, but it's absolutely enormous. It does not, I don't consider this to be minifigure scale. It's like 3 times that. So it is weird to kind of see where they draw the line. But yeah, it's still cool to be able to have the full collection up here and be able to look at Brickset and compare one-to-one what's on the wall versus what's down there. So let me show you some of the specialty adaptations that I've made along the way to house certain things. So we'll start over here. So all of the Droidicas get a specialist base here, which is made of a 2x2 jumper tile with one of those great inkwell pieces that just inserts into the bottom of the dome that is underneath of their legs. So each one of those has that, and that works very well to secure those. And then things like your Rota the Hutt, which by the way has movable little arms, which I think is just absolutely fantastic. I totally forgot that that was a thing. Those just sit on a regular jumper piece. Other creatures like the monkey lizard here get the same treatment here, so his little legs can dangle over the edge, which I absolutely love. And next we have things like the mouse droid. So the mouse droid has a similar adaptation to the one that I did for the destroyer droid, except that it has a half Technic pin inserted into the inkwell piece, because there is not a full stud of width in between these two wheels right here. So I needed something that was narrower than that to be able to fit in and secure the droid in there without it you know, being able to go anywhere. And then I also have this section. A lot of folks were asking me what I was going to do with this vented section here that I'm nervous to put minifigures in front of, because they will be getting alternately hot and cold all the time, and that will cause the plastic to crack. So what I did is I built these brick-built walls that literally block off the hot and cold air from hitting the minifigs. And then in between, I'm just storing things which are you know, not things that have like moving parts. So these one-piece microfigs here that, again, Brickset doesn't really consider to be canon, but I still wanted to have a place for because I love them so much. And then also the hologram figs. So we have the Leia hologram and the hooded figure, and also we have the statue here from Vader's castle. So I just wanted to go ahead and put all of those somewhere. And then I'm also starting to gather prints that I find interesting from throughout the years. I actually do consider these to be characters, because these are the 2 security droid eyes from Jabba's palace, and then this is R2-D2. So in my mind, I consider those to be representations of characters, so I'm keeping them here. And then that's just a good way to use this space and not have to use up precious shelf space from up top to store those. So speaking of up top, I have some of the interesting droids. Like I have the sniper droid here, medical droid, the Anakin and Obi-Wan lava fight droids, this funny little kind of TV display here from the Darth Vader meditation chamber set, which again I think considering the fact that it represents 2 minifigures on it, I wanted to count that as, you know, part of my collection. And then we have things that just simply don't fit because they're either too tall or too bulky. And once again, I was surprised to find out that these are not considered to be minifigures or counted as part of the official minifigure selection by Brickset, I guess because they are representing a piece inside, like a character inside of a brick. So maybe they don't count it, but or maybe that's more of an accessory. But it's interesting. But yeah, I still wanted to keep all these together because I love them dearly. And then I'm also keeping some of my other collectibles from over the years up here as well, because, you know, Lego gives us stuff for spending lots and lots of money, so why not go ahead and just display them all anyway. I have a non-exhaustive list of these dwarf spider droids. I think there's like 3 more types or 3 more builds of these that I have to still get my hands on. I have both of the Sarlacc pits and yeah, things like, I considered this 1999 set here to be an absolute classic, the Vulture droid, and it is, in my view, it is a character because it's a robot that can think on its own, and it can, you know, think and move and act independently, so I'm counting it. And then going down here we have all of the classic brick built, or one-piece molded creatures here, the big figs, of which I think I'm still missing a variation on this guy, and I think maybe a variation on that guy, and there's a couple more too that I haven't gotten throughout the years that will be eventually joining the collection. Some other fun things I'm trying to do along the way: I want to keep certain promotional items that came with characters together with the characters that they represent, and I'm making room for little additions too, like for example down here we have the printed wall piece, the kind of holographic wall display that came with the Yavin 4 base, and I thought that would be fun to just place it behind the characters from that set. And then also things like the armorer here, she gets I wanted to keep the sign that shows the Mandalorian covert, and also I wanted to give her the plain Beskar helmet that she was working on in the workshop, even though it isn't directly depicted as going in her hand in the set. I just figured that she would want to be close to her helmet that she's working on there, that she loves so dearly. So things like that, I'm just kind of going a little bit extra. And then things like this, I figured out a little simple method to attach this, just using one of these bracket bricks. And then I can keep Grogu in his Christmas form with his Christmas color-coded little baby carrier, and I think that that's fun. So yeah, I'm trying to do a lot of that kind of stuff along the way, just to kind of spice the wall up a little bit. So here we have the 25th anniversary brick here behind the 25th year, and then over here for 2023 we have the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi, although I think do I have that correct? Is that the right year for that? I'm not sure. But yeah, so there you go. There's kind of the little fun things that I'm doing along the way. There's a lot more of that stuff throughout, and I still am actually missing a few things. Like I don't have the special plaque for the Han Solo 25th anniversary or 20th anniversary figure, but I do have the one for Luke and some of the others on display. So as I track those things down, I will place them on the wall. Another thing that I'm doing is to remind myself what goes where. I'm putting the pieces that I have of the minifigures that I still need in their place. So here I have the blue cap waiting for this guy. So this is the exact same minifigure here once again, except instead of the hair, he has the hat. So I'm just kind of keeping those things handy to remind myself of what I'm still missing, so I don't have to keep looking back at the list every single time. And then, you know, that just kind of helps me to stay organized. So you can see a lot of those things throughout. You know, here's a here's a snowtrooper waiting to receive the rest of his body, and yeah, that's just kind of a cool thing. And the thing that is kind of really bumming me out is I feel like a lot of the figures that I thought that I had, it turns out I don't, and I'm not sure if that's because they're either missing, have fallen off of the wall over the years and wound up in some random pile somewhere waiting to be sorted, or who knows what. I don't know. Maybe my memory was faulty in the first place. It's an interesting thing, and it's an interesting feeling to feel like your own Lego collection is gaslighting you in a way. Because yeah, there's just so many things that I was like, well, yeah, of course I have that. And then when I went to look, I didn't have it. So yeah, that's been a fun and weird experience. And so what I'm going to be doing is desperately sorting through all of my stuff to try to see if I can find some of those characters that were you know, deemed to be missing before I start ordering new ones and ending up with duplicates. That's a big pain in the butt. So speaking of duplicates, I am going to be doing something that I've never considered doing before, which is getting rid of a lot of these figures. I'm going to be selling them. I'm going to attempt to trade them in at the new Bricks and Minifig store that is opening very near me in the next few days, which I'm super excited about. But usually I would keep all of these, just keep them in a drawer and use them for other things, either for mocks or things like that. But completing this wall is going to be exceedingly expensive as an endeavor, so what I'm going to be forced to do here is to try to recoup some of my costs to be able to put into new minifigs. I'm getting rid of a lot of the duplicates, and I'm limiting myself to just the representations that Brickset considers to be unique, one of those each on the wall, and then the rest are getting sold off. So that's it's an unprecedented step for me. It's a weird feeling. I've never sold pretty much anything from my Lego collection. I've always just considered it to be part of the growing collection, and anything that's a spare is like, you know, something that's available for mock making. So yeah, it's a new weird feeling. I don't like it, but at the same time, I'm excited to be able to, like I said, recoup some funds from this extremely expensive endeavor to be able to put towards filling in some of these red gaps. So the red gaps bother me more than getting rid of my duplicate figures. And this is just the final figure that is on the wall currently. That is my 25th anniversary Darth Maul, which just arrived this morning, and I'm very, very happy to be able to have him on the wall. It's such a beautiful way to tie off the first 25 years with a 25th anniversary figure of Darth Maul here, looking just as crisp and just as awesome as he ever did. And I have the corresponding one, the actual 1999 Darth Maul with his extremely tattered cape, which I would like to get a replacement for at some point. He's up there. The first true minifigure. The battle droids don't really count, but minifigure 001 in my book is Darth Maul there. So very, very cool. What a great way to cap off this insane quarter-century long endeavor by having the Alpha and the Omega, at least currently. The May the 1st stuff is on its way, and I'm going to have a bunch more figures to add to the wall. But yeah, it's really nice to have that sort of beginning and ending bookmark for this this project right now. It feels great. So I'm going to be slowly filling all of these in, and I'll be showing you guys some of the figs that I get along the way, especially interesting rare ones. And then, like I said, I'm going to be going through them year by year as I complete them. Some years may go out of order because I'm missing like a heck of a lot more from like 2005 than I am from like 2018, for example. So I may just end up skipping some of the years that I'm having trouble locating a lot of figures for, and then just, continue the series that way, and then come back to the years that I missed at a later date. Another thing that I wanted to draw attention to is I will not be supporting the insane scalper prices of certain figures. So I am just saying up front now, I am going to be getting knockoffs for certain things. Cloud City Boba Fett, I'm not spending or giving somebody $2,000 US to get my hands on a figure that is worth, $2 in plastic. I'm just not going to do it because I think that it's downright immoral how expensive some of these things have become. And I don't agree that just because somebody's willing to pay it that you should charge that much money for it. And the thing that's unfortunate is even if you had a Cloud City Boba Fett that you wanted to get rid of and sell it for a reasonable price, will get bought by a scalper who is online 24 hours a day, scouring the internet for deals and trying to take advantage of a mom on Facebook who doesn't know any better and is getting rid of her kid's Lego collection because he went off to college, and then they're turning around and reselling that thing for an insane markup. So yeah, I won't be doing that. So I'm gonna get as many of the figures as I can legitimately from Bricklink and other sources, but I will not be doing any of that insane stuff. Some other YouTubers have done it and they've shown the official proper figures off, and so you can always check out their coverage of it if you are interested, but nah, that's not for me. As long as what's here looks like the thing that it's supposed to look like and I can still enjoy it, and it's made of genuine Lego parts, which there are a lot of people who do reprint real Lego parts to make them look like what they're supposed to look like. And I've seen quite a few very convincing Cloud City Boba Fetts, for example. I have looked into this for myself. And so I'll be probably sourcing some of those options, and it'll be interesting to take a look at them and compare them to the official Lego as well, and kind of give you a look at, what some of the other folks out there in the custom market are doing. So that's interesting. Yeah, I respect the Lego designers' effort that went into designing these figures, and I respect I respect people who sell them for a decent price, but I do not respect scalpers who are just trying to get rich off of completionist and FOMO kind of mentality. I'm not going to be participating in that in any way, so yuck. All right, so rant over for that. And yeah, that's about it for today. So I'm really excited to be getting along with kind of collecting and filling in these gaps. It is a very fun and enticing prospect to take a red brick off the wall and replace it with a minifigure. And I'm really excited to start looking at each of these years in order. There are 25 of them so far, so that's a big series already. And of course, there will be a lot more coming in the future as we get closer to completing, up to current. It'll be interesting to see in future how quickly I'm able to get those future years out there. So yeah, that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Let me know what you think of my minifigure wall. And other than that, I'm just going to get to work on the next video. So thank you guys again so much for watching, and may the force be with you.